We welcome you live here for the Doublemint Cup Series at Boston Motor Speedway. Zachary Fitzwater will be leading the field down, and we are racing here at Boston as the number 43 for Richard Petty Motorsports is going to try and get the king the first victory of the season, as he will try to get justice for Michelle, as the 35 of Nick Gunther on the outside pole already dropping back to the third spot, but knowing the outside line, that's not really uncharacteristic at all. As Elijah Gordon does take away the second spot, off to a good start goes Zachary Fitzwater here on lap number 2 out of 75. This is probably one of the more longer races of the season for such a short track. As there you see Charles Sanford in the Aspen Dental Chevrolet. Stuart Haas trying to get both their cars, a couple of their cars in victory lane. At the 35, Nick Gunther already in the wall. The 35 a bit too aggressive off of corner number 4, and you can see what is the consequence of that. As the number 35 is going to drop back in positions, he's already got a win though, but he doesn't really have much to lose. Joey Murphy in the Wesco machine in the middle line. He's got to try and make some aggressive moves as well. As a couple of these drivers are running near the back in points, some are desperate to getting good point stays today, as some others are just trying to ride it out here and try to avoid all the trouble, because the attrition rate at Boston is pretty significant here sometimes, so whenever there's a big crash, you need the best to avoid it. You have to either be hard on the brakes or just be playing ahead of it, or just get lucky. As you see a couple cars still running hard against each other, some are still stuck on the outside line. Joey Murphy still trying to make a move underneath Nick Gunther. It doesn't look like it's going to work. Tommy Turbo's going to try to think otherwise, as he's going to try and get around the 13. As you see the field still, a couple cars still 3 wide. Jack James in the inside line, the 42 machine there with Rancho Cucamonga up high, Duncan down in the middle. Focusing back on Fitzwater, he's got a gap over Jonathan Zolan and JT Bryant. Then you have Emily Anderson sitting in the 4th spot. Gardner in 5th. Yeah, that's Gardner in 5th. Elijah Gordon has dropped to 6th. Ian Dunn is in the wall for corner number 4 here. 32 ran his car against old Nick Gunther, continuing to find the wall again. That car does not look like it's handling very well, as Joey Murphy finally does get around the 35. Those two never really get along in terms of chemistry, so Jeremy Jones trying to get some more good experience here. That sounds terrible, actually. Trying to get more experience in the Cup Series here. He's running in the trucks, everybody knows that. He's in the 88. He's already put himself in the chase there. He might try and put himself in the chase here in the Cup Series, so trying to turn that 4-team around after a disastrous season with Emmanuel Hartnett. This could be good for them, because they are running, I think, pretty solid in points at the moment, so Tommy Turbo way up high in the marbles there. He's going to lose about 3 spots in that corner itself, as the Burger King cars of Betty Johnson and Annie Thomas are going to try and get around him here, as William Duncan does the same here. But focusing back here, the lead has changed to now Jonathan Zorlin. Zorlin runs last in the points right now. Not a good day. Not a good season so far for the 5-team. Victory could help secure their hopes already and give them a shot. Maybe go for more than one. Just because you have a bad season in the regular season doesn't mean you might have one in the chase. We saw that happen with the 50 team of Logan Brown last season for Chip Ganassi Racing. Chip Ganassi with Felix Sabates, they ran pretty terrible actually throughout most of the regular season, but really showed what it counted in the chase, despite finishing 4th in the overall standings at the end of it. But the top 3 has really been the guys that check away from the rest of the field here. Emily Anderson and the Penske cars, all 3 of their cars are running inside the top 10. Maybe if they can get themselves in the top 5, they can get around the 41 altogether. So Dylan Young trying to get around Johnny Gardner for 5th. Gardner looks like he'll actually give the spot away, because he's pretty courteous to his teammate. Good runs for them. About time they need those runs. And Elijah Gordon has come down pit lane. Looks like they might have had a tire rub there, so they've come down and out of pit lane. They're going to be, actually no, they're still in pit lane, so they're going to be a lap down in this race. So Elijah Gordon finding some trouble with his race car so far. PJ Williams, the points leader, coming in the race, running in 8th right now, so another top 10 run couldn't really help PJ Williams today. There you see Richard Johnson, the 21, running solid in the race right now. With Andre Baranowskis in the old right he was in last season. Richard Johnson did win in both of his wins last season came in road course races. So Richard Johnson trying to actually prove more speed for the Wood Brothers Racing Organization, and they did get that car in the chase last season with Chuck Petty. So Richard Johnson could make a move here in the late stages here, but we've had a green flag run so far. Great racing all around. We haven't had our caution quite yet, surprisingly, but Elijah Gordon is going to be the only car that is a lap down at the moment. Actually, he's going to be 2 laps down, as Jonathan Zorlin has been hounded on by JT Bryant. There you see Fitzwater in the 3rd spot, and still holding on in there. Actually, the Polster are doing a fine job so far. Dylan Young in the 4th position here. And now Team Penske has gotten all 3 of their cars inside the top 5 right now. They've got a strong gang of cars right now. Dylan Young has had some troubles this season with some mechanical issues, especially in the 2 machine. They haven't really shown much of the speed they really want to showcase, and they're finally putting it out today in the Reds Apple Ale Ford Fusion, as Zorlin up behind the racetrack, 3 wide for 2nd, Bryant to the lead, as Young has finally gotten around the number 43. Once the 43 goes up into the marbles, Young can take advantage of this, and there it is. Penske now 1 and 2, with Johnny Gardner trying to close in on the 5 and the 43. Everybody else rather spread out here. As you see Jessica Emery still reeling in Nick Gunther there, as there's the 18 of Gabe Williams also having a troubling season so far. Hasn't found much luck. Chris Dodd, our Talladega winner, reeling his way up. Oh man, Jesse Turner almost rubbed fenders with William Brockhoff for corner number 2. That was a bit dicey, as Nick Gunther just really not finding much handling in that race car. That car started 2nd in the race, and he has dropped all the way down to 29th. He's been the biggest loser so far. As for everybody else, it's still rather a tame race here at Boston. Yeah, Elijah Gordon is basically 2 laps down. Tough break for him. He's running pretty far down in points, and the battle for the lead is on between Penske teammates. Dylan Young now to the point, with JT Bryant in 2nd. Jonathan Zorlin sits in 3rd, Gardner in 4th, and then you have Fitzwater in the 5th spot. Emily Anderson quietly running inside the top 10 today. Richard Johnson has reeled in the 41 slowly but surely. And there you see the 31 of Vince Freeze trying to run a good race here. And as well as Angel Navarro in the 78. The 78 found speed in the super speedways, but it doesn't look like they found much today. But now he's running inside the top 10. Good run for Angel Navarro here. I want to give a shout out to him. PJ Williams still running inside the top 10. Really, a quiet run for him will really just help his chances of extending his points lead possibly. So it could be good for him. Could be bad, but top 10s are really just to be consistent. You just need to stay around there, and you'll probably make the chase if there aren't 16 different winners. But knowing the series and the nature, that will probably be the case. So he does need to get a win here, but it's too early in the season to actually assume that. The tires are going to kick in here in this long run. Dylan Young looks like he might know how to use them the most here at Boston, as he is trying to pull away from JT Bryant, as you see the rest of the field just really spread out track right now. Last season we had really a lot of wrecks in a lot of cautions actually. Now we haven't really had one so far in this race, so rather surprising to see that happen. William Brock nearly in the wall for 4. Jesse Turner made it 3 wide, trying to take advantage of that. And, well, Turner's just had an up and down, mostly a down season so far. Brock nearly against the wall off of corner number 2. He's going to lose those spots there. And we do have a replacement driver this right now, and that is in the 16 machine. That is driven by Theo Segal. Theo Segal will be taking over for DJ Curtis the rest of the season. Curtis saying that, well, he just feels old, even though, yeah, just basically just unknown reasons. Let's just say that, you know, there's just he just has been on a quest for means. And we got a car on the wall for corner number 2. That is O'Neal Baldwin. Looks like he might have suffered maybe a bit of a flat tire there, either that or drove the car a bit too hard in the corner. And, well, that one machine does have significant right side damage there. Maybe an indication he might have had a tire rub or not. I mean, it's either one of the two. He has to go running solidly in the top 20 right now. It's really a good run for him. Remember, he was in Michael Waltrip Racing last season before the team shut down, and he didn't have a ride. So DJ Curtis did say that he didn't plan on racing as much, he wasn't performing well, and he wants someone else to take over the 16. If Theo Segal does win a race, he is actually eligible to make the chase. He can at least pass one person inside that top, which will probably happen actually if he runs consistent. But Theo Segal trying to get a good run for the Roush Fenway Racing organization here. So far their team has struggled quite a bit here. Duncan's probably been the fastest out of all of them actually. So William Duncan running pretty solid. He hasn't had a win yet, but he's running really, I think, the top 10 in the points at the moment. PJ Williams up against the wall and turn number 3 and 4. And he's going to get that car back on the track as his car has some right side damage now. Oh man, that's actually pretty much a lot. You don't see it as much, but he's got plenty right there. Team Penske running 1 and 2 continuously here, while Jonathan Zorlin sits quietly in 3rd. The top 2 have really just remained unfazed. Really, most of the top 5 has stayed where it is. Richard Johnson running his own little island in the 6th spot. For the Boston races, has probably been one of the most cleanest races we've seen ever here. As Sam Kerr is trying to get around Jeremy Jones here. I don't know what position that's for. I think they're running near the back of the field actually, William Brock. Yeah, this is way in the back. Jeremy Jones in the wall in turns 3 and 4 again. Elijah Gordon, remember he had to pit for something wrong with his machine. He's still 2 laps down at the moment, and well, he's continuing to pass people. But you can tell by cars hitting that wall in 3 and 4, the cars are slowly getting tighter. Some are just not finding the grip they can get here. As there you see Kyle Matthews getting around Nick Gunther, as well as Jesse Turner doing the same thing. Seth Cole running near the mid-pack range, actually near the back again, so a couple of drivers just not finding the speed they've wanted. We're just looking around the field here. Luis Hernandez struggling in his race car, the RCR machine, not finding much in his car. And Hernandez just has not been happy with that. Jesse Turner has finally got around Kyle Matthews. This is for the all-important 26th position here. As Turner just not really in that beginning slump like last season. He was in the 25. Remember that? In the 25, I don't know where he's running actually. The 25 is not too far ahead of him. But Chris Dodd still trying to reel in Theo Segal here. The Talladega winner just looking to get another great run here. But he's running inside the top 25. Not the best of cars he's gotten. Theo Segal has fallen back here in this long run. Cody Lamas running, who's been running pretty fast. He's had speed, but not much luck. And you see Audra Baranowska's hit the wall from corner number 4. And Betty Johnson, and there you see a trio of cars now down the inside of the 47. And that's not going to be good for Audra, because that is going to be pretty terrible. A triple whammy. Positions lost there. Joey Murphy running mid-pack, running in actually the 20th position. Top 20 run for Joey Murphy. His teammate Josh Sekuli not too far behind, so RCR trying to get some good solid efforts here. But as of right now, it's still been Dylan Young and JT Bryant, the dominant cars of the day so far. Mostly Dylan Young has been the leader throughout most of this, but we have to wait and see where pit stops will end up here, or if we can get a caution out of the norm. And Kyle Matthews up high in the marbles there off of corner number 4. It's been a rather boring race so far. And I don't blame any of y'all for skipping, because we've lacked the racing. As there's a side-by-side battle here, actually, for position at last. Jonathan Rains goes way up high. He's in the wall. 38 hits the wall pretty hard there off of 4, and that's going to really cost him a lot of time. And Zachary Fitzwater has come down pit lane. Looks like they're going to try and kick off the green flag pit stops here. Pit cycle here. We're going to have to wait and see unless he's pitting really early. Yep, the pit cycle has started. JT Bryant now coming in. This could be important. Zachary Fitzwater could cycle himself as the leader. You saw a couple cars hitting the wall for corner number 4. That is very crucial. As you see a lot of cars coming in this time around. Is the possibility could it help Elijah Gordon, or is just the problem he had just really hurt him? Charles Sanford made an aggressive move to clear William Duncan. The moment there we thought he didn't clear him. As here they come down pit lane yet again. The leader you'll see in the intervals and the leaderboard, Dylan Young. still the leader at the time. He has stayed out for a couple more laps. He might lose some time actually here if he stays out more, because here he comes down pit lane. The 2 car, the most dominant car of the day, coming down pit lane, but he's got some side damage. He did hit the wall at one point, so it looks like they were trying to avoid those down the apron, and really that just led to them getting some damage, and this could be costly for Dylan Young. We have to wait and see. Young does not want to throw this race away. He's led the most laps so far, and he does want to win this race badly, and I would not blame Team Penske for going for it, as they're going to take a 4-tire stop. Lots of drivers are actually taking 4 tires here. That's probably going to be the way to go, actually. If you want to be completely honest here, using logic, you need 4 tires at this track, because it does wear a lot on tire wear, and you saw a lot of cars finding their mark here in the turn 3 wall at Boston. Turn 3 and 4 wall, as you can see a ton of cars coming out of pit lane all at once. A couple of them actually side by side, and some decide to back off. You see Charles Sanford and Seth Kohler both side by side coming out of pit lane, and Elijah Gordon trying to thunder his way past. He has to slow down actually, and there's some contact, and we got the 38 in the wall. Jonathan Rains spinning around. The caution is out on the racetrack. And does anybody hit the 38? He's trying to get down. And Chris Dodd, nowhere to go. That collects Zachary Fitzwater. And we've got ourselves a wreck. We got some smoke up there as well. Richard Johnson, nowhere to go. As, yeah, there's a lot of cars trying to slow down. We've got ourselves another wreck. JT Bryant, the 2nd place car involved. And that is our caution. That does, during a green flag cycle pit stops, I don't know who's the leader. I don't know where Dylan Young's at actually in this race. And Jeremy Jones has just slammed the pit lane barrier. So we got some heavy impacts. Dylan Young is nowhere to be seen. There he is. He's running in 20th. And with that cycle stops, that's really going to hurt the number 2 machine. But for JT Bryant, his chances of winning this race are over. Heavy front side damage for him. He had a good car. Richard Johnson was pretty solid today. He had a top 10 car all along as well. Emily Anderson with damage. A lot of top contenders running inside the top 10 are already struck with damage here. As we're going to have to take a look at the replay. We had multiple incidents, so we're going to have multiple shots of what happened. We're going to look here, and Elijah Gordon checked up, but then something wrong happened at the same time, and Jonathan Rains, just an innocent bystander, just slams into the back of the 14 machine as Rains does spin helplessly on down the racetrack. Ranger Cucamonga gets by, but then watch the 24. I think Kyle Matthews gets a bit of side. Yes, he does, right there. Left side damage. Right side damage done there. And Rains just trying to get down to the apron. That car, by the time he has little to no speed, Chris Dodd, no place to go. There's Zachary Fitzwater's damage involved, and Luis Hernandez hits the 43 on the side. Driver's side hit. As he goes upside down, you see a puff of smoke up ahead. And Richard Johnson with no place to go. Emily Anderson gets collected there. They were all committed to their lines, and just the track was just blocked at the time of the inconvenience, and just they were wrong place at the wrong time for them. And under caution, Betty Johnson slammed into the back of Eric Rodriguez there, trying to slow down, and then I think this is what triggered up the Jeremy Jones incident here. We have to take a look here. As she came down pit lane, Jeremy Jones tried to get out of the way, and she just didn't bother giving Jeremy Jones any room or give and take there. And Jeremy Jones slammed the pit lane barrier, and that was a heavy impact. Kyle Matthews probably got a piece due to the side damage he got. That caused the car to actually lose the engine there, and that is a tough break for the 24 team, as they're going to have to put their car behind the wall. As we're going to have to take, due to the amount of crazy events, that's going to put a lot of drivers in, really, some of them are going to be pretty angry, and we're going to have a lot of demolished cars here. That ended a good green flag run there, and we'll be back for the restart. Coming to take the green flag with a 1 to go signal, 29 cars remain in the race. If you're wondering where Dylan Young is, he's running. I don't even know where he's running, actually. Let's see. He's running in 17th, so he's got a lot of ground to gain up, but I don't think that's really going to happen at this point. Green flag is out. Jonathan Zorlin leads them down with Johnny Gardner second. Audra Baranauskas in the 3rd position with Vince Freeze in 4th. And Cody Lamas able to climb his way up into the 5th spot here. As there you see Audra Baranauskas trying to use the lap car for a pick here. And Zolan goes way up behind the racetrack. Will the 47 make a move? And he's still got the one machine on the inside line. Baranowski's plan might backfire here with Johnny Gardner now in the attack on the inside line. There you see Cody Lamas up to third now. Lamas trying to get that consistency back up. He's had some fast cars, he just, like I said, hasn't had the luck. The one way up behind the track, that's going to hold up Baranowski's continuously here, as the rest of the field still trying to scatter themselves around. Dylan Young trying to get back on the climb here. He's up to 12th now, but does he have enough time? Well, we still have plenty of laps to see that. And Nick Gunter continuing to fall back. I don't know if he's a lap down or not, actually. Yes, he is. He's actually a lap down, so. And Baldwin's in the wall. Angel Navarro squeaks on by. Baldwin is a lap down. Remember, they don't have to worry too much about it, but Johnny Gardner's still running in second. Jack James now trying to get past Cody Lamas for third. Gabe Williams trying to get a good run for once today in the 18 machine. Joshua Sikuli now in the 7th spot. Then you have Vince Freeze and Baranowski's. Baranowski's continuing to fall back. Angel Navarro has finally caught them. So this is going to be a 9-car battle. If Joey Murphy can catch them all, then he could make it a 10. Dylan Young trying to do the same thing. Trying to get up inside the top 10. That 2-car, remember, he's got a ferocious engine. And contact. O'Neal Baldwin spins around off of corner number 2. Right into Ryder Barnes, collecting Bill Gunther. As the field's going to try and slow themselves down, they do. The caution is out on the track. Bill Gunther's got a lot of damage. And this could be a good break for Dylan Young here. He is now up to 10th. And with that said and done, Jonathan Zolan is the leader. Not much to explain there. Ian Dutta just did not like lap traffic. He almost got himself in that wreck, but he got his teammate Ryder Barnes involved. And that collected Bill Gunther, really just an innocent bystander as well. But the field slowed up in time, only a 3-car wreck there, brought out our caution. But Bill Gunther got the worst end of the stick, and he's going to have to put that car behind the wall. And back underway there, Jonathan Zolan continues to lead. Gardner second, James in third. Will Cody Lamas use lap traffic to his advantage? Because he is now the first car in the lead lap at the bottom side. With Gabe Williams not too far behind. And yes, he is. He's actually doing a pretty efficient job. He's gotten around both Gardner, trying to get around Gardner at the moment, but he's gotten around Jack James for a position. And he's got Ian Dunn in front of him. Those two are pretty much friends to each other. And Zolan into the wall. The leader has hit the wall at a corner number 1. And that's going to hold him up, and that puts Cody Lamas to the lead. Gabe Williams in second, he's on the apron. Gardner slides at the track trying to give room. And the 22 still running in second. He didn't really gain or lose anything there. But that did really cost a lot of time. The caution out on the track yet again, and we've got another wreck. I don't know who it is. It might have been Eric Rodriguez maybe. And Joey Murphy looks like something wrong might have happened to the 13 machine. As that puts Nick Gunter and Ian Dutta back on the lead lap here. So this is good for them. They now have a shot at winning as Cody Lamas is your leader. So yeah, that's what happened. The engine expired underneath Joey Murphy's hood. The 13 was running really solid. Very solid today. And then I think the car just basically stalled from there. And that's really the reason our caution came out. Joey Murphy's engine expires today. A mechanical issue for the 13 puts him out of the race here, and that is a tough break. Pace car is off. Cody Lamas, your leader here with 16 laps to go at Boston. Johnny Gardner sits in second. Gabe Williams in third. Green flag is in the air. Lap cars are still at the bottom lane as we have 27 cars remaining in the race. Joey Murphy suffered a camshaft failure. Tommy Turbo is a lap car. He does want to get back on the lead lap. I don't think he has much damage to begin with. It's just the pit cycle really screwed him around. Dylan Young still remains in 10th, but he's just getting held up by lap traffic. He does not like lap traffic at all. I think he loves it. Just kidding. No, he doesn't. He hates it too. As you see, he's trying to get around Dylan Schwalberg. William Duncan trying to get a move on underneath the 2. He knows Young is very fast. Rancho Cucamonga trying to do the same. See everybody else just trying to spread themselves around. Johnny Gardner hits the wall for 4. He just kissed it there. but he's gonna lose spots as a result. Vince Freeze and Angel Navarro are gonna now try to catch that 22 here, as it does put the 18 to second. But here comes Jack James down the inside, trying to get a move on underneath Williams. As there you see Jonathan Zorlin back into the picture here. Williams up the track. He doesn't really have as much of a fast car as he thought he would, as we got another car in the wall for 4, and that is Anderson. Anderson, I believe, is a lap car. No, she's not actually. She's on the lead lap, surprisingly. So yeah, honestly, not much to say there. As you see, Onya Baldwin is still trying to yield for these lead lap cars. Remember, he got turned off of Ian Dutta not too long ago. And Ian Dutta, there's the 32. He's on the lead lap now, so you know Ian Dutta has a pretty much a decent car, at least him and Nick Gunther do. As he does get around the one, Onya Baldwin wasn't too happy with Ian Dutta, gave him a finger, showing the disability he's got. Showing that he's not too happy with him getting turned, as Ian Dutta just goes on by casually. Jesse Turner's been rather quiet in this race so far, running in the 14th spot. That's still a rather good run for the number 17 machine. It actually just needs one of those runs to help him get up in points here. Cody Lamas still leading here with about let's see, 10 laps to go here. Tommy Turbo is a lap down, but still running rather fine with the leaders here. Not playing much of a nuisance as of right now. This could actually help Jack James maybe just a bit here, as Angel Navarro has reeled in Gabe Williams for the 4th position here. He comes down the inside. Gardner's still trying to look for another good run here, as here he comes Navarro with the run. Gabe Williams in the wall again in 3 and 4. And there you see Rancho Cucamonga and others getting around him. Look at Andre Baranowski's using the outside line to his advantage here. And, well, it doesn't look like it's going to really work right now. William Duncan trying to reject that 47 here. There's Dylan Young and Seth Cole battling for position here. Remember, Dylan Young was the dominant car of the day for most of this race. Baranowski's in the wall in 3 and 4. She probably used the tires a bit too much there. Tried to use too much grip and lost it there. As Jack James trying to get around the 95-4 position. Cody Lamas, the first thing he does not want to see is that 42 in his bumper. And he's got a solid gap over the number 42 here, as Cody Lamas still leading his teammate of Jonathan Zolan, running in the 3rd spot. So this is rather a good day for Hendrick. Basically a half and a half, because Chris Dodd and Kyle Matthews have struggled, as well as the 25 Vic Rodriguez. So Jack James looks like he may have a faster car than Cody Lamas here. If James doesn't use his tires too much, he could win this race possibly, but Cody Lamas has 5 laps to go to prove it here, to hold him off, because Lamas has been pretty quiet throughout most of the race, ran mid-pack throughout the event, and now is up to the lead due to pit strategy and the timing of the caution that really helped him out. Dylan Young has made his way up to the 8th spot, now to 7th. He has been slowly making his way up, but I don't believe he has enough time actually. But he has reeled in Johnny Gardner. He's going to try and get a top 5 at this rate, as he's going to get around him for the 6th spot. Dylan Young, the car to look out for here, but he does not have enough time. I think it's just going to be a battle between Cody Lamas and Jack James, if James can even catch that 48. Angel Navarro has caught the 3rd place car here for position. They're going to be battling it out here. Rancho Cucamonga sitting in the shadows in 5th. And Dylan Young is now in the 6th spot. He's had the fastest car all day, but with timing happening, it's not really gone out for his favor, but still nonetheless a good run for Dylan Young here. Cody Lamas leading with 3 laps to go here at Boston, with the number 42 of Jack James in 2nd, Zorlin in 3rd. It's a 3-car battle for 3rd here. Rancho Cucamonga now ducking to the inside for the 4th position here underneath Angel Navarro. Could he get 3rd away? Rancho's got to run off, and he's on the bumper of Zorlin, as Jack James has closed in a bit here with 2 to go. As here they come off of 4, the white flag is going to fly. 1 more lap to go for Cody Lamas at Boston. The gap has widened, closed down to 2 tenths here, 2.5 tenths, but I don't think Jack James has enough. He's got 2 more corners to figure it out, but Cody Lamas with a very calm personality here. Zorlin up the track in the back. He's in the wall, but off of corner number 4, it is going to be Cody Lamas taking the victory here with Jack James in second, Cucamonga with a third place spot, and you saw Zorn in the wall, he's going to drop all the way down to 6th, and Dylan Young does get that top 5 after all. As there you see the rest of the field getting themselves across the line. But you gotta feel bad for Dylan Young, if you even do feel bad for him. He had the dominant car today, he's gonna have to end up finishing 5th today. But Cody Lamas does get the victory here, Jack James in second, like I mentioned. And here are your results here, 1st through 28th. You saw Joey Murphy out of the race due to a mechanical issue with camshaft failure in his end. That puts him out. And that's really all I have to say. This 1st through 28th, it's going to be a big shuffle. Cody Lamas does get that victory at last. And then there's the rest on down to 42nd. Zachary Fitzwater had a very good car. The pulse hitter will finish last today. You gotta feel bad for Fitzwater. He had a good car until that wreck. During that cycle, green flag pit stop split him out. Jonathan Raines had a stalled car today, as well as Richard Johnson and JT Bryan had a very good car. He was running second throughout most of that first half before that incident happened. And for him, his chances are done for that day. But somewhat of a great way to end it. We had a pretty solid green flag run near the end with all 42 cars basing the race until that caution happened. And while that took out a lot of contenders there, good contenders, as Cody Lamas does take the victory here. And that's going to bring a massive shuffle in the point standings.